So this evening we have a balloon debate. Just to explain to you again what this is. Imagine we're on a hot air balloon, and the hot air balloon is too heavy, and it's going to crash in the water, everyone's going to die, and there's only room for one person to stay alive on the balloon. And you've got to choose who that person is on the balloon. And so these people have to justify why they should be that person on the balloon. And these people are Mickey Mouse, Dr. Norman E. Borer, Nelson Mandela, Pikachu, Pingu, a dust mite. This is slightly against the usual rules of balloon debates, but we'll stretch a point on this occasion. Martin Luther King and Alfred Nobel. They will say more about themselves. Now the format's going to be, they're all going to give a short speech, and then our distinguished panel of judges, Mr. Erskine and Mr. Wilson, are going to choose 2 or 3 to be thrown off the balloon, as it were. And then you have to sit your name, please. Then you have to ask them questions. And there's a prize for the best question, or you can make a speech, it's up to you. But there's a prize for the best person from the audience who gives the best speech. And then another 2 or 3 will be thrown into the water. And the last 3 left will give a final speech. And your applause will influence the judges on their final decision. Okay, so if anyone gets a huge, bit like Look Who's Got Talent, big round of applause might influence the judges to go in their favour. Now, as always, big prize in the Lock the Park. Now there's been various answers from Static Cupboard. A small bag, a medium bag, and a big bag, like the 3 bears. And there's also a bag for the best speaker or the best question from you. You can ask an individual question to one person. You can ask a question to 2, 3, or all of them. Or you can just stand and make a speech. It's up to you. There'll be a prize for the best person on that one. So, as you've all decided to sit where you're sitting, this will be the running order. So we'll start from here and move our way across. So, round of applause please for picking up.
I make Mouse. I make small babies happy. But the parents don't let them watch too much TV. So let us watch TV. Please. So, I looked at factors. I have a dog. I have a duck. I have a cow. Another duck. A mouse. 2 chipmunks.
Quite special, makes the evening what it is. Okay, Dr. Norman, call that please.
Hi, my name is Norman Borlaug, and I've saved over 1 billion lives. That's right, you've heard correctly. I've saved over 1 billion lives. I've done this by developing generations of wheat varieties which are disease resistant and have the ability to grow worldwide. The exceedingly high yield potential, I've succeeded in feeding billions of hungry hands. The new wheat varieties transformed farming in Mexico in the 1940s and the 1950s, and later in Asia and Latin America. I have a vision, and that is, I would set up training centres to pass on my extensive knowledge of agriculture. I would send out my students to the poorest countries of the world, like disciples sharing the knowledge, and as a result of this, achieve an era of eradicating global hunger. I will also set up the annual World Food Prize. This will be an international award recognising individuals that have improved quality, quantity, or availability of food in the world. But that is just a vision that will die and fade away if I'm the person who is going to die. But if I'm the one to survive, that vision will walk proudly like a line of excited lions. And slowly, that vision will become reality, and the era of eradicating global hunger will begin, and the world will be a better place. If I'm the one want to survive, then I will continue feeding hungry mouths and make the world a better place. I will make sure the world has had its fill, and until that glorious moment, I will not cease my work.
Thank you. And next we have a very pale Nelson Mandela. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nelson Mandela, and I was born on the 18th of July, 1918. I joined the ANC, which stands for the African National Congress, in my 20s. I was in prison for 27 years, but only 18 of those years was on Robben Island, where I contracted tuberculosis, and I got a Bachelor of Law degree. February 11, 1919, I was released from prison by the club. In 1993, I was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, joined with President of the club for dismantling apartheid. In April 27, 1994, at first democratic election was voted South Africa's first black president at the age of 77. I published my first autobiography called The Long Walk to Freedom, which I wrote secretly in prison. In 1999, I retired as president, but continued with a busy schedule. In 2005, I lost my son to AIDS, and I'm trying to raise money to cure it.
Thank you very much. Unusual here, we've now got Pikachu. I can't wait.
Hi, I'm Pikachu. I should stay on because I'm cute and cuddly. I don't let Pikachu use my function. Self-defense. Well, except in battle. Not generally a steam rocket. Curse them. And if you do attack me off, I just hang on with my tail. That's if I have one.
Thank you very much. I think you know who's next first in this by costume. Come on, Pingu.
My name is Pingu. I'm a very mischievous and playful penguin, and I'd like to explain to you why I should be kept in the blue. First of all, children play a key part in my life. They need to learn through play and fun, and that's what I'm all about. I should also mention my BAFTA award. Not bad for a penguin, eh? All my episodes have been broadcasted in 150 different countries. On Facebook, I have 59,000 likes. That's pretty cool. Apart from that, my theme tune is 28th most popular in the world. My weight doesn't matter. I'm so light, it won't affect the weight of the balloon anyway. We'll just stay afloat. So if we ended up flying over Mount Everest, no problem. I'm used to living in cold temperatures anyway. Doesn't matter if you're French, Chinese, Japanese, I'm so visual, anybody can understand me. I hope you enjoyed listening to my speech. And by the way, if you're colourblind, doesn't matter. I'm black and white.
First, and hopefully the last, a dust mite.
Hello, I'm a dust mite. Sometimes people call me a HDM. That means house dust mite. The reason why I chose a dust mite is because they are incredibly small and weigh almost nothing. All it does is feed off human skin, and they have a translucent body. On average, dust mites live up to 19 days. Dust mites survive in all climates, even at a high altitude. Fun fact, dust mites don't bite. They are harmless. They feed off dead skin. So if you don't have me on the balloon, there'll be like a pile of skin and it will just be there and I'll be weighing the balloon down. They clean your body, so even if you're on the balloon, you'll get dirty, but if you have me, you'll keep clean. Nothing can get rid of the dust mite completely. So if you vote me off, I'll still be on the balloon.
Thank you very much. Please have a only two new boys taking part in their first 2-3 weeks of Lockwood Park. Our second new boy is Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King is one of the most influential people ever to live. His contributions during the civil rights movement have led to many changes in the modern society. Kofi Annan became the UN General Secretary. Barack Obama became the President of the United States. These phenomenal achievements may not have been possible without King's work. He helped people in the US and around the world see that everyone was equal no matter the color of their skin. 2 years ago, I went to the United States with my family during my summer holidays. Without Martin's contributions, my family and I could have suffered a torrent of abuse and discrimination. This did not happen. We were respected in the same light as any other person in the United States. We were able to have a peaceful and relaxing time. Without Martin Luther King's actions, none of this would have been possible.
And finally, please, Alfred Noble.
I am Dr. Alfred Nobel, born in Stockholm, Sweden, in 1833. I'm the creator of dynamite, gelignite, and ballistite. You probably don't know what gelignite and ballistite are, so I'll explain. Of course, they are explosives. And the way I discovered gelignite, well, it's a funny story. I was mixing... You don't care. Appreciation of science. Anyway, the fourth son of Emmanuel Nobel was an engineer and architect, and who was also a relative of Erles Rudbeck, who was also a scientist and writer. Taking after my relatives, apart from the fact I created a weapon of mass destruction. But I'm a pacifist, I swear. On the note of dynamite, or Nobel's safety powder as I named it, didn't improve sales. It was used, apart from just weaponry, it was used in mining and building of transport networks. It was a safer version of nitroglycerin that was used at the time. Most of your wars that you fought wouldn't have been won without my innovations in explosives. Secondly, my fortune went to the creation of the Nobel Prizes, which I insisted to happen in my last will. Since it was awarded in so many categories, literature, science, peace, etc., it inspires people to this day to do extraordinary things. To conclude, without the invention of dynamite, central transport networks would have been built slower, and mining would still use hard labour. And when explosives would be used, it wouldn't be as safe, and many more people would have died. Lastly, if the Nobel Prize hadn't been established, many people wouldn't be inspired to create or discover things that have changed our view on the world. I'm Dr. Alfred Nobel, and that is why I should stay in Berlin.
Right, in a minute, I'm going to ask the judges to say who they're going to throw off the balloon. While that's happening, I want you to start thinking of some questions to ask the panel. Remember, you can ask any individual, or a group, or all of them. Okay, as long as they're still on the balloon, of course. People into the water. And those two people are, I'm very sorry to say, Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry, Pikachu. And now it's your chance to win a bag of slatter with your questions. And please, audience.